Stop being a hypocrite. By Nameless Saint. At some point in our lives, we have all been guilty of hypocrisy. As humans, we are bound to make mistakes, and it is nearly impossible to always adhere to our personal moral code. Despite genuinely believing in objective morality, we may still make excuses for our own shortcomings. Interestingly, we tend to hold our loved ones to a different standard than others who exhibit the same behavior. This could be a defense mechanism, but why do some people engage in hypocrisy more frequently than others? Furthermore, how can we overcome hypocrisy and cultivate humility? Here's my viewpoint. What is hypocrisy? Hypocrisy is when one claims to hold certain moral standards or beliefs, but their own actions or the actions of those within their family or community do not align with those standards. It is a facade of morality that conceals our inability to meet a set moral code. We tend to accuse others of behaviors that we ourselves engage in, but somehow view it as different when we do it. This often stems from an inflated sense of ego and self-righteousness, coupled with a lack of humility. Experts believe that hypocrisy is a form of projection, a common defense mechanism that develops in adolescence. It serves as a way to protect ourselves from harm by avoiding personal responsibility and gaining control of a situation without admitting fault. For instance, a teenager accused of wrongdoing may deflect by saying, "My sibling did it too." What causes hypocrisy? Hypocrisy originates from fear and low self-esteem, as individuals utilize it to evade confronting their flaws and accepting responsibility. This typically arises from the belief that we should not be held to the same standards as others due to our supposedly better intentions, which we consider more just, noble, and sincere. Feeling morally superior to others can be satisfying, allowing us to avoid the painful emotion of humility. Even those who strive to be their best may resort to hypocrisy when feeling attacked. For instance, we may indulge in gossip about a coworker's poor performance, while secretly worrying about our own job performance, deflecting attention away from our own issues to evade judgment. At the root of hypocrisy lies a deep-seated need for love and acceptance, as the fear of humility and judgment is so intense that we resort to double-think and cognitive dissonance to avoid facing ourselves. How can we stop being hypocrites? Examining our own moral code is the first step toward overcoming hypocrisy. It is essential to determine whether there are any contradictions in our beliefs. Christian writer C.S. Lewis believed that objective morality is a crucial tool in overcoming hypocrisy. Objective morality is the belief that there is a universal moral code that is independent of personal interpretation. In other words, stealing is wrong in and of itself, and it is not dependent on the person involved in the situation. The Bible also supports this idea in James chapter 4 verse 17. So whoever knows the right thing to do and fails to do it, for him it is sin. As Christians, we must also acknowledge our humanity and imperfection. We must accept that we are prone to making mistakes and that we are not exempt from wrongdoing. In his book, Mere Christianity, Lewis writes, "No man knows how bad he is till he has tried very hard to be good." Therefore, we must learn to laugh at ourselves and take our shortcomings less seriously. This is supported by Proverbs chapter 24 verse 16, which says, "For though the righteous fall 7 times, they rise again, but the wicked stumble when calamity strikes." Putting ourselves in other people's shoes can also be tremendously helpful in decreasing our inflated ego and self-righteousness. The Bible encourages us to empathize with others in Philippians chapter 2 verses 3 to 4. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interests of the others. Other tips to overcome hypocrisy include ignoring what others are doing and focusing on ourselves. As mentioned in Galatians chapter 6 verse 4, each one should test their own actions. Then they can take pride in themselves alone, without comparing themselves to someone else. We should also refrain from condemning others too quickly. As Jesus said in Matthew chapter 7 verses 1 to 2, "Do not judge, or you too will be judged. For in the same way you judge others, you will be judged, and with the measure you use, it will be measured to you." Paying attention to our cognitive dissonance is also essential in overcoming hypocrisy. Proverbs chapter 28 verse 26 says, "Those who trust in themselves are fools, but those who walk in wisdom are kept safe." We should reserve judgment until we have experienced something. As Jesus said in John chapter 8 verse 7, "Let any one of you who is without sin be the first to throw a stone." Finally, becoming more spiritual can help us overcome hypocrisy. Galatians chapter 5 verses 22 to 23 says, "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness and self-control. Against such things, there is no law." By focusing on developing these qualities, we can overcome hypocrisy and become better people. In conclusion, to stop being hypocrites, we must examine our moral code, acknowledge our humanity and imperfection, and strive to live according to objective morality. As Christians, we must remember that we are not perfect, but we can overcome our shortcomings through faith and a commitment to living a righteous life. As 1 John chapter 1 verses 8 to 9 says, "If we claim to be without sin, we deceive ourselves and the truth is not in us. If we confess our sins, he is faithful and just and will forgive us our sins and purify us from all unrighteousness." Stop being a hypocrite. If you enjoy watching this video, kindly consider subscribing to my channel. New content is posted daily. Thank you, and may God bless you.